Hey guys, welcome to another part of my Dog Sculpting Series in Zbrush, and in this video I'm going to show you how to create fur in Maya using Xgen. But before that, you need to set a project folder so that Xgen save all of its ptext files and maps in that folder, because having a project folder will minimize the risk of losing any data. And as you can see that I'm making a project folder so that I can start using Xgen and I can keep all my files in that project folder. So currently I have imported my mesh in my scene, and you can see that there are two meshes. One is the blend shape and one is the original mesh in which I'll be creating fur. So I am just currently deleting all the default names so that I can rename according to what I want. So I have renamed my original mesh as pup and my blend shape, and so now I'm deleting the history so that there is no history available before I can start using Xgen. And also I'm going to do a cleanup so that there are no errors in my mesh. So I have cleaned my meshes, and then you can go to deform and then you can apply your blend shape. And now I'll check my blend shape that if it is working properly, and I'll now hide my blend shape so that there is only my geometry visible, and then I'll put it into a group because I do not want any value to come to my original mesh. Everything should go to my group, because I have to change my working unit to foot because currently it is in centimeters. And now I'm going to scale my dog to a real world scale. And then you have to select your mesh, because before creating guides you have to create a description. You can give your description a name, as now I have given my description a name, pup, and then I'm just choosing placing and shaping guides. And now you can see that my mesh is now currently ready for creating any guides. So I have just started creating my guides, and then I just have to use my sculpt tool so that I can start changing my guides. You can put your mesh into a layer so that it should not select your mesh accidentally. So I have started changing the shape of my guides. So this is a very crucial step where you will have to arrange your guides properly so that your hair should also form in the same manner your guides are. So I'm using a sculpt brush to guide my to basically change the shape of my guides. So this is also a very time consuming process. Here you have to keep a lot of patience because how good you will shape your guides, the end result will the end result will also be very good. So again I have used my add or move guides to create a guide, and again I'm using my sculpt brush to shape my guide. So this will be a repeated step. In this thing I'll only be using these two options for creating and shaping guides. One thing is also very important, that whenever you are creating guides or whenever you will be painting maps, you'll have to assign a basic Lambert or blend material to your mesh, because no other shader will be activated when you will be painting your maps. But that is a later thing. Currently we have to just focus on creating guides. So I'll be only creating guides on one part of my mesh, because the other part I'll just mirror all my guides so that I do not have to work on both the sides. That is why I have created the blend shape, because after once I have created all my fur, I'll just change the shape of my mesh with the help of blend shape, and all my fur will then be redirected to my changed blend shape. So as I have told, this will be a repeated process in which I'll be only creating guides, and there should be no guide on the nose, so that's why in between I'm just switching on my wireframe to see that I'm correctly putting my guide. And make sure that your guides are not too long or too short. It just has to be of basic shape, of basic size. You do not have to stretch that too much, or you don't have to make it too tiny. In between, I am also using a few other tools like rebuild or normalize. What rebuild does, that suppose if your spline or your guide has 5 vertices, and if you want to increase the number of vertices, you can just go to rebuild, and then you can enter the number of vertices you want, and then you will see that your guide will be having that number of vertices what you have entered in that rebuild box. And what normalize does, suppose if you are stretching your guide, so normalizes just equidistant all the vertices in your guide. So I'm just creating guides around my mouth. While you are creating guide, you just have to keep a check that your guide is not penetrating inside the mesh, because if the guide will get inside the mesh, there are chances that the hair will also penetrate inside your mesh. So you just don't have to keep it too away or too close to your mesh. It has to be near your mesh. So you have to closely look your reference also, that the hair on the dog's body is getting in which flow. So according to that flow only you have to shape your guides. you have to be very patient while creating your guides, because this is a time consuming process. The more time you'll give to your guides, uh, the more beautiful the result will be. So we have almost covered the one side of the face, and now we'll be continuing the rest of the guides creation in the next video. So if you find this video helpful, then please like, share and subscribe to Mojo Art, and thank you for watching, and I'll see you in another part.